All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 4. We're currently on match point. 3D Clan are victorious here. They do go through to qualify for the main event. An 8-bit army heads back to the drawing board as they'll have to regroup and potentially reface new enemies tomorrow. It's warm colors against cold colors. The north against the south. Salami Striker Zerton in the cool colors. And B. Garneth Koinu in the north, playing on the warmer colors. A complete mirror that we've got here as well, Lidakor. Each civilization available to both teams.
And not just that, but if you look at the positioning, it's the same story. You have the pocket players being the Delhi, and then the Abbasid flanks are meshed against each other, so are the ones with the Ottomans. It's actually very reminiscent to what we have seen in the previous 3v3 between these players, where we had the same lineup. It was different civilizations, but the story was the same. Identical mirror, so you even had the same civilizations on the same side for both teams.
Now, one of the things to note is that the boars on this map will be safe. No one will be attacking the boars, no one will be eating the boars. Got ourselves an all-Muslim appearance. No civilizations, no European civilizations are going to be eating up those boars. So maybe we look for a little bit of action. There's actually 3 boars over on that east side available. And then 1 boar, I suspect, just towards a little bit south of where we are at the moment. So not really in any hugely important spots. Could you imagine if we had boars on the sacred site, just how good that would be?
Oh, that would be crazy.
So that's a beautiful boar spot, by the way, for any civ that can actually take it. Very safe on that lower level. But A-Job's going to start coming through shortly. We'll take a look. It's going to be economic wings coming through for Koinu and Zerton. Tower of victories for our Delhi players, and of course for our Ottoman players. I think you would be hard to come by a player at this caliber going for anything but the Twin Minaret Madrasa. But I could be wrong.
Oh, look at that.
Tower of victory.
Tower victory indeed. And, I mean, on the other side, I think it's taken for granted. B loves his Tower victory, so there's no surprise if he goes for that himself.
A bit of a pioneer of the Tower of Victory. I remember watching him quite a while ago, bringing out the 2TC Tower of Victory. It's definitely a solid strategy. Now I'm going to cut a little bit of a spear fight over here, Striker. Going to try and take on Garneth. The villager gets in on the action and says, hey, you want to take him on, you're going to have to take me as well. Heads back to the pavilion, looking to reassess the situation. A-Jup's coming through for all of these players now. We'll double check in with our Ottoman players and see which way they've gone. Our Abbasid player, of course, going to be taking the economic wing. No real surprises there. Twin Minaret Madrasa coming in for Garneth. And over on the other side, it's going to be Striker doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's identical mirrors here for both sides. Now, how are we doing with the sheep situation? I think that's going to be a big factor here. It's so evenly mirrored that such small discrepancies could easily be the difference maker. And if I'm not mistaken, Salami actually has most of the sheep under his town center. He's not going to need that much of that, so he could just send it to teammates.
That is every sheep on this map. That is so many damn sheep. 17 sheep. Salami.
Crazy.
I thought he's from Hungary. I didn't know he's actually from New Zealand. That's crazy.
No, I mean, he was just hungry.
He was just hungry, yes he was. But the age-ups now coming through. Abbasid player is going to start us off with the early age-ups. Second town center is going to be mandatory for these guys. We can see them gathering up stone. Koinu, in particular, is going to be looking for that second TC. I'm curious what kind of compositions we see from these players. Now, you can almost be guaranteed that our respective Delhi players are going to be looking to go heavy on archers. You can almost be certain that Zerton and Koinu on the Abbasid are going to be going for cavalry, which leaves the question mark above the heads of Garneth and Striker. Do they go for spearmen? Do they go for archers themselves? Do they go for cavalry also? Keep in mind the Abbasid players can always flex into spearmen. They've got some of the best spearmen in the game. In fact, not even just some of the best spearmen. The best spearmen in the game. The phalanx upgrade always can be very powerful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could play around with Spearman with the Abbasids, but I feel like that's going to be your cavalry player. Indeed, we have stables coming up for Koinu. we could see an instance of Spearman plus Horseman mixed in, because, as you said, Abbasid Spearman just so terrifying, and then you just need a Horseman player anyways. Might as well just do the two things at the same time. You could easily afford that with the Abbasids.
Yeah, definitely. Especially considering the fact that their villages are just so cheap. You can spend all of those resources on food-heavy units, and you don't feel too bad about it. Blacksmith now coming up for Striker over here on the west side of the map. Double stable opening coming in from Zerton. It's been a while since I've seen one of these, a double stable opening, so it is going to be the cavalry coming out. Now the question is, who looks to move towards the middle and begin securing up that sacred site? We can already see Salami walling in himself on the front. Just wants to make sure that passage of enemy units, and look at this, Garneth going to be losing a scout. We've seen a lot of scouts go down in this series, haven't we?
Yeah, a lot of them. Obviously, it's very late in the evening. We haven't really talked about that. We are into the 8th hour of this broadcast, and team games being long means that we have a lot of playing time here for these players. Although not everybody has been playing every single game, of course, but still, players are also starting to show signs of attrition because of that.
Yeah, fatigue definitely starts settling in around this time. It's one of those cases of how long can you go without making the mistakes, but a little bit of horseman on horseman action on the east side of the map. I definitely like this orientation more, where we've kind of got the top down in the team game. Makes it easier to follow. 3 players at the top, 3 players at the bottom. But now moving towards the middle, Salami looking to secure up this sacred site. A single Spahi out for Striker. Walls coming up on either side, and Salami now beginning to wall the central sacred site. Zerton coming back, regrouping. Plenty of units moving towards the middle here.
This is the initial momentum I was looking after. A slight army lead translates into map control here for Salami's team, and if they can start taking the sacred site in the middle and then fortifying it, from that point on, all they have to care about is just defending it. It's that simple, and it's gonna make life very painful for B's team, especially because if you take a look, Salami's team is also essentially nullifying future raids by getting all these walls up, not just on the right side, but also on the left side. So really, maybe the only battlefield that we're going to have in the next 5 or so minutes is going to be the central part, and that's going to be controlled by Salami. And when you have those walls up as well, you can also commit to a bunch of defensive towers there if you're Salami. So be on the lookout for those coming up, and if these walls are complete on the flanks, this is going to be a challenging game for 3D.
Indeed. It will be challenging because the sacred site is being captured as we speak. And Salami begins that countdown. It was about an 8-minute completion on the Sanctity upgrade for his scholars. And now we approach Sacred Victory. Okay, you don't even need to get your timers out anymore. I used to tell you guys to get your timers out. You don't need to get your timers out. And look at this. Moving forward.
Oh, I love it.
Beautiful walls coming in. Just looking to secure up the battle dome in the middle. Second town center out for Koinu, though. Second TC yet to be added for our... Actually, I know I take it back. Zerton has added in his second town center a little bit later than Koinu did. But secured that early position. Scout going down. It's the second scout going down this game.
Second TC indeed coming in here for Zerton. Now, B is moving out with not just a bunch of archers, but also quite a few scholars. He's up to 6 as compared to Salami's 4. But I really love how Salami is dropping these walls here in the central part. Just slow trench warfare. Every second matters in that Sacred Site countdown. That extra layer of walls, especially when your opponent's army is mostly archers, could be the difference maker between just winning on the countdown or not.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly right. When your enemy's composition is archer heavy, their lack of siege is really difficult to overcome, or at least it's difficult for them to overcome. So by doing this, by getting these walls up early, really cements your position. Another 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Looking to be careful. They're trying to scoot around the outside, but the horsemen uncovering it. This double archer composition. Spahi moving in from the north as well. And Koinu looking to overwhelm his enemy's position. Don't know whether we've got +1 ranged armor just yet, but it's not even going to matter. The forces continue moving forward. B moving forward with those archers, the extra attack speed, just pumping out units non-stop. Look at that. Huge damage. Still decent cleanup coming in. Where are the reinforcements at the moment, though? I don't see Zerton anywhere. There they come.
Yeah, here he comes from the right side. He's been raiding the base of Koinu. Didn't really play together with his teammates. Got some good raiding damage going, but now he gets to surround from the right side. And there it goes. Ooh. You thought it's a good fight for B's team, but it really wasn't, with those horsemen finishing off the remaining stragglers.
That is a lot of horsemen coming in right there. Zerton looking to save the day. Fortunately, a couple of spearmen going to be coming in for our Ottoman player, but very quickly they're going to be taken out. And have a look at this. Just when you thought everything was going well for 3D Clan, Salami says, hey, I'll see you guys in the castle age, all right? All right, I'll see you guys there. But Salami's the only one that turns up because, well, he was the only one who got a sacred site. So he gets that free 150 gold a minute. It's been 3 minutes now that he's had it captured. And, of course, you can do the math right there and work out that's 450 gold that his enemy hasn't gathered. But he has. He uses that
snowball
push
effect
into the castle age. Yeah.
The reason why this is going to be so big is because of the relics. They are kind of all in this middle right now. They are not really busy building up economies back at home, but Salami can kind of bridge that just by picking up the relics, because that's going to give him a lot of immediate momentum, and that's exactly what they need to just keep control over the middle, get some tower ward elephants in. What exactly would you do against those tower elephants right now if you're a 3D?
Oh, probably resign and go to the next game. Tower elephants, something that I don't think we're yet to see today. If we do, know that it will be a short game and a quick game. Decent hold coming through right there. I don't know why Zerton didn't commit. I feel like Zerton probably could have just taken that fight very easily, but probably a wise decision to fall back for now. Archer numbers looking pretty solid as well. We do see the meta coming out for Garneth, and those relics, as you mentioned, getting picked up.
Yeah, it's actually a scary amount of archers for Garneth. He's got 43 by himself. That's actually more than what you have, or almost as much as what you would have for 2 players on the opposing team combined, and then you have the matter buff. But if you can get this keep up, it will be irrelevant. You can't destroy keeps with archers. Only a few villagers building this though, and here they come. Can you get this keep up? This could be for the game, Aussie.
But look, he's got the relic being held by the scholar, the Wallalol god himself. He's going to be able to keep this backline alive as soon as they come through. He's going to force them back. And with that, the keep buys more time. The villagers continuing to tap away at the keep. If the keep goes up, the chances of victory here for 3D Clan evaporates down to less than 5%, I would argue. But now they continue to hold on the front line, moving up those archers, trying to get onto the backside to take out villagers. The first one goes down, second one goes down, but Lord Doubt does not smile today. The keep goes up, and with that, is he putting a siege workshop behind? I think it's a Mangonel that's going to be coming out next.
Yeah, and most of the horsemen have been decimated by the archer fire, so Mangonels here, supported by that keep, will be enough to hold this one. Critical detail over here for Salami, getting that castle up. That was basically the game on the line. Now they have a defensive keep against an almost exclusively archer army and a sacred site that's walled in. I don't know how you take this down if you're 3D.
It is a really difficult position to take down. They're gonna need to research siege engineering.
Yes.
Head back to the drawing board and look to try and push this keep with about 4, maybe even 5 battering rams, because the main issue you're going to have is that keep is firing down on your units the entire time. So you want to be quick underneath this position. The problem that you're going to have is Salami's got a lot of villagers just chilling out in the middle, which means that there's repairs that can come through. He's also got the ability to drop down more keeps. So in the time that it takes for you to build these battering rams, Salami is gathering more and more stone as we speak.
And he's gonna have Mangonel set up, that's the big thing. Sure enough, you're gonna have the battering rams, but if you don't have an escort to them, it's not gonna matter. And look at where he's gonna position his Mangonel. It's gonna sit on the sacred side. You don't have a chance to take it down.
Yeah, this is just, isn't it the cutest thing you've ever seen? It's just...
What?
Oh, okay, wait. Oh, I was so scared. I thought Zerton's forces were his enemies. I was so... It went that late in the day, I'm like, no, he can't be doing that. But so what he's doing here is getting rid of the gates on the front side. Because if you focus the gate, it's going to leave a gaping hole inside what your position is. Whereas if you do this, it gives you the option to add a new gate in. And it also means that if your enemy does manage to take the wall down, you can quickly get the re-wall up.
Yeah, indeed, and as you said, now the Mangonels will be garrisoned out there. Beautiful! Oh, this is so difficult to push for 3D. Down to 3.5 minutes, and they have to fight against Mangonels. That keep has to go down, or this game is over.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to be going for a re-wall here on the front side. The gate's not going to be needed. Wallalol standing by. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out for it. Mangonel shot hits the back line. Archer's going down here. And 3DB might be in a little bit of trouble. 3 minutes to go. He's standing on top of the sacred site. There's no chance that this one gets denied, at least for the moment. It's going to keep ticking even if you stand on here. And the Mangonel's going to be able to hold on this position. Wallalol, not needed to be used, but always ready to go in the back pocket. If you try and take it out, they resign. Good game gets called. We're heading to game number 5.
What a madness we're witnessing over here. And really, small details coming in clutch. I don't want to repeat myself, but remember those forward walls when we talked about how crucial they could be for timings? That wall that Salami had, the time it took for the opponents to break through, is exactly the time that Salami needed to finish that keep. If that keep doesn't go up, it's a completely different game. But it was finished by Salami in time. He was able to position some mangonels in the middle, and from that point on, 3D just wasn't able to push up. As expected at the beginning of this game is going to be all about someone controlling the sacred side and the other team being desperate to decap it. Wasn't possible for 3D, and Zerton, Salami, and Striker carried the 8-bit army to a decider game.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff right there from 8-bit army. And I mean, as we talked about, it's all about control of that sacred site. He who controls the sacred site controls the world, I believe the old saying goes. But, we saw a great use of the gold that was generated from that sacred site. The 3 minutes that it took to gather up that gold was then subsequently used to go to the Castle Age. And then as soon as he hit Castle Age, immediately drops the keep down, immediately gets the Mangonel to back it up. They just knew exactly what they were doing. It was perfectly planned out. So really well played there to 8-bit army. And we move to a decider game. The 5th game, the final game, match point. The last game in this series.